So let's just focus and become weightless and take a step back. I did do my brother proud today, and I did get wailing high. I really did. Because I cleaned out my whole house, and I found my old bong from when I was 25, and I went and I bought some screens.
You misplaced a bong for 13 years?
I was really high. Remember that?
That's where it is.
Jeff found a note on a whiteboard in my apartment once when I was living in this one-bedroom apartment in Los Feliz, and we were both getting high. That's okay to say, right? We both have prescriptions.
Not me.
Okay, well, as a person with a prescription,
I say nope to dope and ugh to drugs.
Jeff is very nauseous and sleep deprived all the time. So you found this whiteboard thing, and it said, "Dear not high Dan, don't get high so much. It makes you feel like you're going to have a heart attack. Signed, High Dan." It was written on like a refrigerator board.
I was just wandering around his apartment, and there it was. I read that, and that's forward thinking.
And at the time, Inagata DeVito was playing. I was high. I was like walking around like, and Jeff said, "What's with this?" And it's a note, and I was like, and Jeff's like, "So what's the deal?" I went, "Well, I'm not going to listen to that guy. He was high." It's a real story. It really happened. Other wonderful things happened in that apartment, like the time that I was living with this girl, Dawn, wonderful young lady,
Let's bring it up.
True patriot. She was in the bathroom, like brushing her hair, or studying for her LSAT. Ladies, I don't want to create like a stereotype of my story. So there may have been a book there too. It just sounded weird to say.
You don't have to feminize the bathroom.
The truth is, she was primping in the bathroom, and it was a tiny little apartment, and I saw her in the bathroom, and I said, I'm not making this story short at all. I said, I'm going to go eat something. And she said, okay, and kept brushing her hair. And I walked into the kitchenette, and I started doing as I do. I started singing a little song to myself. And it was a falsetto kind of song, because I was grabbing a little plate instead of a big plate. So I started singing, when you have a little food, you just need a little plate. When you have a little food, you just need a little plate. That's all I was doing. It was like I was a choir boy. I was just sort of like.
I like the kind of strange Gregorian.
It was kind of like I was finding
diminished fourths.
We all do this. We all sing little ditties and kind of get focused on one. I was kind of into it, and the whole time I had a mental map of where I was and where my girlfriend was. She was in the bathroom doing something, and I was just singing this song, and my back was to the doorway of the kitchenette. And as I turned around, I saw her. She had heard me singing in this falsetto voice, and she had decided she didn't want to disturb anything, but she wanted to listen to the song.
She was like Jane Goodall.
So she was crouched behind the stove.
Day 7.
And she,
a new behavior
she had become so amused that her face was bright red, and she had because she was trying not to laugh because she was just listening to this stupid song. And so I turned around, and she had been doing that the whole time. And when I saw her, I'm holding a plate, and I went, but more feminine than that, more like weird, like more Damon Wayans, like senior, like in an '80s movie where it's like, and the plate went flying. But it's very difficult to describe this because it's like a photon becomes a phaeton, and a gluon the bonds with a neon, and it all happens at the center of the universe at the same time. Because I went. And she had been crouched down, and then she was suppressing her laughter. So when I did that, she went. And so, from my perspective, I turned around, saw something that scared me, and it turned out to be my girlfriend, who was crouched like a hobgoblin, bright red, and making like this weird hobgoblin face. So as I recovered from my adrenaline shock, I went, "What are you doing?" And she answered in the moment and went, "I'm peeing." because I had made her laugh so hard she was peeing. So then this is the part that I swear, I have to swear is true, and I have witnesses to the evidence. That made me laugh so hard I shit my pants. People hear that story and they go, "Why aren't you married?" Because that's enough for a whole. Just keep on. It doesn't matter.
But the epilogue is Dino comes over, right?
Well, that's the reason I remember it oddly, because Dino came over.
How do you forget a story
He
like
saw
that?
two. I don't know. It's just like it all.
How often do you shit your pants?
More often than I. Yeah, actually, it happens more often probably
Really?
than.
So you have forgettable pants pooping stories.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I could tell you the ones I remember, but I also feel there's probably a bunch where I'm like, fuck, I shit my pants. It doesn't happen to you? Like, it'll happen at the weirdest times. Like, the story is always after, well, before before 8, it just happens because it happens. And we really have to give children make a note of this. We have to give children a break on this. They're not choosing to shit their pants. They have the little muscles.
I didn't poop my pants a lot.
But after 8, from 8 to 39,
I'm having trouble
it's
relating.
always just, you think it's a fart. That's it. It's every story. I just think it's a fart. It feels the same as a fart. And I just go like, this is going to be great, man. The worst one was
you gambled and lost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it never seems like a gamble. There's no just double zero on the roulette wheel, you know? I don't know. Like, wow, there's no purpose. Like, why would I shit my pants? I'm not sick. I didn't eat fucking like truck full of wheat. Whatever makes you shit. I don't know. I don't know. The opposite of cheese. I kept thinking, what's the opposite of cheese?
Oh my God! I just shit my pants. Why? I just ate a truck full of wheat.
I work on a farm and I just take it in, and I'm the guy in the harvesting
I was
truck.
so high, it's ate a truck full of wheat.
Jeepers Creepers was chasing me from and I ran through a field, and I guess it was just like sort of a residual wheat accumulation. And next thing you know, I'm a chronic diuretic. Wheat. Stay away from it, or you shit your pants.
Dino comes up.
Dino came to the apartment and he saw 2 soaked pair of pajamas that we had kind of like hand washed and hung over there's a woman's pajamas and a man's pajamas. He's like, what happened there? And I was like, oh yeah, the weirdest, the opening of a Paul Thomas Anderson movie happened. Is what happened. Something that requires diagrams happened. Pretty crazy.
Also, there was a time I was same apartment, different girlfriend. Robin was there, and we're sitting watching TV in a little front room. And if you want to see this apartment, go watch Channel 101. Anything like Laser Fart, Computer Man, it all takes place with the orange sofa and the white walls. That's the place. And we're sitting there, and Robin gets up and says, Dan, hey, Poo Poo Bear, I'm going to go into the kitchen and make you a snack. You want a little snacky, Poo Poo Bear? And Dan's like, I can get a snack. I'm kind of hungry. And I was like, ooh. So I'm sitting there watching this go on. And she runs off to make him some cottage cheese. Not make him. She doesn't make cottage cheese. They didn't live in a cottage. But she goes, and she comes back with a little plate, big dollop of cottage cheese and these beautifully fanned out canned peaches, gorgeously arranged in a little array around the top of the thing. And she brings in the room and Dan goes, I kind of rolls his eyes and grits his teeth. She goes, what the fuck? God damn it. I fucking hate that face. You make that stupid poo-poo face. And I was like, I'm just sitting there digging it. I'm Jane Goodall for this one. And Dan goes, look, I know you're a good girlfriend for making me the cottage cheese and going the extra mile of putting the peaches on top. And I know that makes you a good girlfriend because you're trying to make it extra special and beautiful for me. And I love that about you. But we've had this conversation like 4 times. I don't like the peaches on the cottage cheese because the juice from the peaches goes in to the cottage cheese and makes it runny and watery and it's gross. And I know that you're a good person for doing that. But I just don't understand how many more times we're going to have the cottage cheese and peaches conversation. She goes, well, then just say that. I hate when you make that poo-poo face. And Dan goes, that's a stupid thing to hate. Abraham Lincoln hated slavery. What are you going to talk about in heaven? I sang a little ditty that went, "Don't date Dan Harmon." Fucking awesome. With one swoop. You took her right in the fuck. She would have went, and everyone wandered off. That's the best.